be looking at finding your secondary sources. And so to do that, we will be getting into your Noodle tools, and then we will also be looking at databases. So I'm creating this video to help you get into Noodle tool and figure out where are the databases. So first things first, to find both of those things, you are going to have to look into the courses. So you'll click up in the corner, you'll click on your courses, and you'll want to make sure that you have the library course in your courses. If you do not, I have put the library code in the red up on the board, or you can pause this video and here's the code right here also. So the NGTTX-539M5. So either way works. If you do not have that course, you'll go ahead and just use that code to get into that course. But the library code or the library course is right here. It says the library, it's bright and colorful. So looking at Noodle tool first, what you'll need to do is you will scroll down. You'll scroll down and there is a green folder titled Noodle Tools. Go ahead and click on that folder and then click on the big green letters Noodle Tools link. So this process may be a little tricky, and if you guys are having issues with it, you can't figure it out, you may send one of them or one of you guys can go grab Mrs. Esser in the library and she'll come down and she will help you. So if you are having issues still and you can't figure it out for some reason, you are more than welcome to go grab Miss Esser. So because I'm already logged in, it has already taken me straight to my dashboard. However, there are a few steps that you will have to do before you can get to this page. The first thing is when you click on that Noodle Tools link, the first thing that will pop up is a username and password login. So usually most of you guys will have already a username and password already saved in there, which is perfect. It's awesome. However, if you click on login, one of the things that'll pop up is it says that our school has now switched to G Suite. And so you're going to have to, instead of pushing the login button there, if you look to the right side, there is a Google button that you will push, so logging in through Google. Go ahead and click on that Google button, and then on the right side, there is a I already have an existing account tab. If you remember your username and password, you will click on the I already have an existing account. You will click on that tab and then it'll ask you to use your username and password to sign in. And then that should take you straight to this dashboard page. However, if you do not remember your username or password, what you will need to do is you will click on Create New Account. So instead of clicking on the I already have an existing account tab, you will click on the Create New Account tab. And if you click on it, you'll use your Google school account sign in and it will take you automatically to this page. I think it asks you one question. It'll ask you what year do you graduate, and then you'll click Save Profile and it'll take you to this dashboard. But again, if you guys do have issues, you can go grab Mrs. Esser from the library. You can send one person to go down, grab her. She'll come to the classroom and she will help anybody who is still struggling trying to figure it out. Once you are on this page, the first thing that you will need to do is you will click on New Project and you will type in the title of your project. So I'm going to type in History Project 4. So History Project 4. I have created a new project, and so now this is where all of my resources are going to go. For this project, you'll have to have a total of 15 sources. So 10 of them will be secondary sources and 5 of them will be primary sources. Just for today, we are looking at finding your secondary sources. So these secondary sources are sources that are going to be published after the fact. An example of a secondary source is your textbook. Your textbook was published after the fact. It has information. It is someone's interpretation of the event or your topic. So today we are just looking at finding your 10 secondary sources. So once you're in the dashboard, if you look at the top, there are a few different tabs. If you click on the Sources tab, this is where you are going to put all of your primary and secondary sources. So let's say that my topic was child labor. I'm going to Google child labor, and then let's go ahead and let's just use Let's just use this first website. So I'm looking through this website, I'm reading the information, and I think it'll go really well if I'm doing a topic on, or if I'm doing my project on child labor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Noodle Tool. I'm going to click on Add New Source. Since I'm going to add this website, I want to use that as a source. I'm going to click Add New Source. And since this is a website that I got it from, I'll click Website, and it is a web page. So I'll click Web Page. And so now it's brought me to a page where I have to fill in all of the information about this article. And usually most websites will have all of their information at the very top or at the very bottom. In this case, for the history website, they have all of their citation information at the bottom. It's not always going to be this clear on some of your websites, and it might be a little bit harder to figure out what information goes where. But for this example, it's very nice at the bottom, and it's titled for you. So what you'll need to do is you'll have to copy and paste this information into the according spots in your Noodle tools. So the first one is looking for a URL. So I'm just going to copy and paste that URL in. The next one's asking for date of publication. So I'll come back here, the date of publication right here. So October 27th, 2009. So we'll go October 27th, 2009. And then the next thing it's going to ask is the most recent date of access. And that's going to be the date that you access this information. So it's going to be today's date if you found this source today. The next is talking about authors. So you'll have to choose the role, and for this case, it's just the author. And I'm going to come back here, and my author, they have history.com editors as the author. So I'm going to copy that information. And since it's just an organization, I'm going to come and put it over here in the last name or group. However, most other articles are going to have a first name and a last name. So you'll just put their first name and then their last name. The next thing is the article title. So again, I'm going to come back over here. The article title is child labor. So I'll copy that in there. The name of the website is history. And then publisher of the site. So come back over here. The publisher is A&E Television Networks. So here, there's usually not going to be a whole lot of contributors to the site as a whole, so that might be something you leave blank. And we're not going to do the annotation just yet. We'll come back and do that later on this year. So now that I am done, I'm going to click Save. And that is the very first thing in my sources. It's my very first source in my Noodle tools. And if you see, you just put the information in and it'll put it in the correct order and format that you need for your source. Now, let's look at finding databases or using databases. So what you'll need to do is you'll go back into that Schoology library course, and if you scroll down, you will see a file that says Databases, Encyclopedias, and General Search. You will want to click on the Kansas Library Database link, and it'll take you to the Kansas State Library. So this is going to be a really good source in finding your databases. If you have your topic, if your topic is something to do with Kansas, or maybe it took place in Kansas, this search right here might be a really good place to start. However, most of your guys's, there might be some of your topics that don't really have anything to do with Kansas, which is perfectly fine. If you scroll down a little bit to right here in this column where it says General Research, you'll see, or you'll find more of the databases. A really good database to start with is Explora Multisearch, that very last thing in there. So go ahead and click on it. And it will pop up to something that looks like this. So I'm going to use child labor again. So I'm just going to put in child labor in the United States. I'm going to search it. And you'll see a whole bunch of documents that come up. You have journals, you have periodicals, you have a government document, like academic journal again, periodical. So you have a lot of different articles and information to use here. For this sake, I'm just going to use the second one right here. And again, before I decide that I want to use the source I'm going to put it into Noodle Tool, you should probably skim the information to see if what the information is being provided is something that would work for your topic. So I'm going to look through this and I'm going to say, yep, I'm going to use it. And so the really nice thing about databases or Explora is that it cites it for you. You don't have to pull information and put it in. It'll automatically cite it for you. So to find those citations, if you look over to the right corner, you'll see a bunch of different icons. Click on the icon that looks like a page. It's like a yellow document. And it says cite if you hover your mouse over it. So you'll click on that, and at the very top will pop up a list of different formatted citations. You'll want to scroll down to where we see MLA, because that is what our citation is going to be in. So you're going to scroll down to MLA, and then you're going to go ahead and copy. So Command C, that citation. And if you come back to your Noodle Tools and you click New Source, this time we are using a database, and this was a journal. And so instead of filling out all of this information from the article, if you look at the top, there's a quick cite, copy and paste a citation. If you click on it, a text box will pop up. If you paste that citation in and then just come up here and click Save, your citation will show up right here at the bottom. So it's perfect. So that is how you use your databases and how you use your Noodle tool. Again, if you guys have any questions, please have one student go down and grab Mrs. Esser, and she will come and help you guys with any questions that you may have.